Hi, Wendy. How are you doing today?
Very good. Thank you, Gilbert.
Yeah, it's last time we talked, I remember it was done virtually on Zoom. That was during COVID times. So it's been a few years.
Good to be back.
Yeah, good to be back. So nice to have you back. So what do you see in terms of your industry in the last few years since COVID? Is it business as usual as to pre-COVID? And do you see any changes overall in terms of the whole mining industry, how people conduct their business?
Well, it's a challenging business right now for companies that are trying to build single assets. And so we're very busy. We're seeing lots of opportunities, but generally they're companies that are development companies trying to move things forward. And so over the last 2.5 years, we've committed $1.9 billion. So we've been busy through COVID and the tail end of it and stuff, still out there looking for new opportunities. And, again, the biggest challenge of COVID was virtual mine tours. I hope I never do a virtual mine tour again. It's always so good to be here face to face. It's the same with the mines, to be at the mines themselves and actually be able to feel the rock and smell the gold.
Yeah.
It's very, very important to us. So good
I also realized that in the last 5 or 6 years, a lot more royalty streaming companies is out there in the market. So it's getting competitive. So how do you maintain that sort of leadership position in the business?
Well, they say it's the ultimate compliment is when someone copies you, and our business model is strong. And so I'm not surprised that we're seeing more and more companies come into the space. The biggest challenge for those companies, though, is trying to find good quality assets. We are incredibly selective. I would say that we only really go down the path with about 1 in every 10 projects because we're so focused on high operating margins. To be successful in this business, we can't be the only company profitable. Our partners also have to be profitable, which means they have to be high margin, high quality assets. There's not a lot of those out there. And so make sure we stay focused on that. And we've had great success that way.
So let's talk a bit about on the macro side, on the commodities. There's 2 metals that I want you to pick, one or the other, like gold and silver. Which one do you like most at this point right now?
Well, I laugh because I just spent the last 3 years as the chair of the World Gold Council. And we're doing incredible things at the World Gold Council, and we think that we're really going to help even amplify demand greater for gold with some of the measures that are underway there. But I like silver better.
Really?
And I can say that now, I guess.
Yeah.
Silver has everything that gold has, but it's also got increasing industrial demand. And in my eyes, silver is the ultimate critical mineral. It conducts electricity better than any other metal. It has less resistivity, it has higher reflectivity, it works well in solar panels, in high efficiency electronics. If you want a battery to last longer, you put a little bit of silver in. It makes batteries last longer, makes them more efficient. And so if we talk about critical minerals and how important it is to green the planet, silver is the greenest metal out there.
Really? And so let's talk about one term that I heard a bit more frequently in the last few years that call de-dollarization. So they call it US dollars. A lot of actions by countries like BRICS and other places try to use their own currency instead of US dollar. But what do you see of that? Is that a good thing for your business?
Well, it's good if it becomes a gold-backed currency. Yeah. To use their own currency doesn't change anything. And in fact, the US dollar, I think one of the reasons it is the strongest currency out there is it has more gold backing it than any other currency in the world. It has a higher amount of gold backing that. And we see China and India and so many other countries in Turkey, just central bank buying has been at record levels for the last 1.5 years because all of those central banks, all those sovereign wealth groups realize that having gold backing their currency is much more important than having US dollars. It's the risk of having US dollar. We've seen the US dollar weaponized, so to speak, and it's definitely a political instrument now. And no country, but no individual, if you're going to have a solid store of value, it shouldn't be subject to political risk. And that's what we've seen. The US dollar now has a political risk attached to it. And so we are seeing increasing demand for gold-backed currencies. And in fact, some of the efforts at the World Gold Council, and we're well on our way there, we expect to come out with a gold-backed token that will deliver a good, strong value to investors and to shareholders in that space. And so we do really see an opportunity here.
Okay, and my final question for you here today is to say, let's say 12 months from now, next year you come back. What would you want the investors to look for in the next 12 months? That 12 months from now you can say, hey, I told you so.
At Wheaton, every quarter is going to be better than the last one. We have 5 years of continual growth over the next, over this next time. And so every quarter will be better. So a year from now, I want you to go back and look, and we will have had 6 quarters of continuous growth by that time, and well on our way to continue moving up. We are taking Wheaton to a new level. Million gold equivalent ounces in the streaming and royalty space has never been done before. And so we will be well down that path.
Okay. Thank you for your time here, sharing your updates and your insights with us, Randy.
Gilbert, always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.